says the title is X1.
Oh, it should be V.
Okay.
Hold on. I think I can change that. We just skipped a lot of updates. This one is so big that it's 6 updates combined. I am here. I'm Madeline. I am the community manager for Brace Yourself Games. And I am here with Andy, the lead design for Industries of Titan. Andy, can you say hi? Better, cool.
Hello. Cool. Awesome.
So, before we jump into the game, we want to show off our brand new patch notes home on our website. If you go to braceyourselfgames.com/industries-of-titan/updates, this is where you can find all of our patch notes now, all the way back to like the very, very first big update that we had. So this is a really nice new place. Another fun, cool thing is that you can now find these on the actual game. There's a patch notes tab which will show you. But yeah, this is a all-inclusive place where you can find everything that we've done so far. Anything to add, Andy?
Yeah. I mean, it looks so good. Like I love it, and like you had mentioned, you'll be able to access it in the game as well. Assuming you have an internet connection too, and it'll actually pull up inside the game. It won't like alt tab to open up your browser or anything like that. So I think some improvements that we will attempt to do going forward with it too is I think right now some of the load times of it in the game are a little slower than we'd like, and we're gonna go look into that. And also I think we're gonna I want to kind of revisit the button that tells you if there's like an update on the patch notes, so that you can be notified if there's like a new hotfix or something. But we'll see it in game soon.
This update is quality of life, which we just saw from that trailer. We get a lot of requests from the community pretty much since we launched in EA, and we try really hard to make our dev process as transparent as possible. The whole point of EA is to work with community to build Titan into like your game. So we wanted to take this time with this quality of life update to implement a lot of community requested features. Call to arms, I'm seeing a lot of people really excited about that one. And of course the minimum workers per job category. We also have a new fan building, which will be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when we first launched, we were talking about quality of life features, and the very first ones we were talking about were call to arms and having dedicated workers per job category, and it's nice to actually be able to get those into the game finally. Yeah, with we actually have more quality of life features than that for this patch as well. Those are just some of the ones that we've been talking about as well. But I think something that's maybe isn't necessarily something that we can like visually show, but will improve your quality of life, is that we, for the last couple months, have been working on a refactor of how the storage logic works. And as a result of that, we're seeing in our internal playtesting an improvement on the consistency of resource storage. And so uh, that will improve your games, and because you will run into less instances of workers not moving resources. So I hope you look forward to that one. It was really tricky because it required sort of revisiting the entire system and improving it. I think another quality of life thing that we have too is when you added combat, we allow players to define settings for each device in their ship, um, like the types of repair settings that they wanted or the priority of how it should be accessed. And the device ecosystem of a ship can result in like 50, upwards to 50 different devices. And so that list started getting really long. And so one of the cool features that we're having fun with internally is like a folder system where it's very similar to an operating system, where you can like create folders to put different devices into or job categories in the city view, and you can name those folders to whatever you like and then move the folders as a whole, so rather than dragging like individual items up and down.
We're Corp Inc.
Hi, Hunter Minus. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, hello. We're pretty excited to show off what we have here. This is actually my first time playing since the last update, because it's been a really busy month with Phantom Brigade launching soon and a lot of the Cadence of Hyrule and Necrodancer physical editions, so I'm excited. I love that opening sequence, but we're gonna get right started.
So, as you may have noticed, or you will notice, is that the theme of this patch is different from our previous patches in that we're not necessarily introducing something new and major that will fundamentally change how you think about the game. Whereas in previous patches, we were introducing like brand new types of gameplay. So in this one, it's all about finally fulfilling the requests that the players have had to make the game more fun for them, because they're already enjoying the game and they just want to have a better, easier time to do so. So, for example, one of the first things that we did was I was starting getting feedback that when people finally got to vehicles, that they didn't feel like the vehicles were improving their like logistics pipeline that much. And so we've increased the speed of the trucks and their carrying capacity. In addition to this, we actually increased the range of how the distance trucks can travel to an infinite distance. So as long
That
as you
was a
have trucks
big thing for
available,
me.
yeah, as long as you have trucks available, they can go and deliver anywhere and anything. So let's see. It's got a couple questions. Can you tell us anything about the new factions? I'm really interested in those. Okay. Yes, I
Ooh,
will in a
good
second.
question.
Yes, I will in a second.
Um,
How can be updated 11? The last one is 5. Oops. It says the title is X1.
oh, it
Did we miss
should
it yet?
be V.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
on. I think I can fix that. We just skipped a lot of updates. This one is so big that it's 6 updates combined.
There's a
No,
couple other
wrong.
quality of life things actually. I believe, and I want to just double check this, but I believe that you can disable weather now. This is something that's been requested for a long
Ooh.
time.
In
There's a
settings?
couple of reasons why it should be in gameplay or graphics.
Uh, Oh yeah,
It's not.
disable weather. Haha. That's cool.
So the the reason for people wanting to disable weather is it's a mixture of performance requests and also accessibility requests. So from the performance side, we're getting a small number of players who are saying that when weather hits, their performance drops significantly. This is difficult for us to optimize for because our internal testing doesn't reveal significant performance drops as a result of this. So it's related to certain hardware, and so we're having a hard time tracking that down. And we do want to fix that. So it's just that I think it'll take longer than we would like to address it. Now the second issue is accessibility. So the rain is very volatile on Titan, and that's part of the lore. And there are reasons for why it's volatile, but as a result, the intensity of it is pretty strong. So when it snows, it kind of changes the colors and look of your city, and when it rains, the entire planet becomes covered in water and it's wet and shiny and stuff. And so from an accessibility perspective, what we have is some individuals that are saying it's like harsh on their eyes, and so we're giving you the ability to disable it. And the reason why it's part of the gameplay settings is because there's gameplay tied to the weather. So when you have rain, based on the intensity of the rain, you have reductions in pollution. So you actually lose a benefit by turning it off. But when it snows, anybody traveling outside moves slower, and that will no longer happen once it stops snowing. So you kind of gain a little bit of benefit there. And we were planning on having more implication on weather in the future, but those are the only gameplay related things relating to it now. Other accessibility options that we have are the ability to turn off screen shake. So some people who prefer not to have the screen shake during combat can turn that off.
They don't
And
like
that's
the
also,
intensity of battle.
yeah, so that is also that's in the graphic settings, I think.
Oh, I'll show that off. Settings, graphics. Disable screen shake. Here it is. Stop walking where I'm building. Hey, wait. It's Andy now.
Oh yeah, and Alexa makes a good point that we haven't made an effort to polish the option screen visually and sort of like in an organized way. So right now we're kind of just like dumping the new things in there, and at some point we'll probably visually categorize them and sort them a little bit better. Even things like disable weather toggle on is kind of weird because it's like we could word it either like, do you want weather on or off, versus do you want to disable it on or disable it off. It's just small things like that we'll try to iron out.
Oh, that's right. I need to do things for citizens. Excuse me, it has been a hot minute, so I'm gonna be a little slow in the beginning, but we'll get into the swing.
So one feature that Maddie is working towards right now is that Maddie's trying to increase her employee count. So this is very familiar for players who have played the game already. This aspect of the game hasn't changed. But once sort of Maddie has a lot of workers, she might look into the worker management tab, and that'll be a large portion of the changes that we have for you today. Oh yeah, so the factions. Okay, so right now you're playing, and the only faction available is the Landfallers. So the Landfallers are unique in that they, as a faction, are more like a collective of individuals. So not in the sense, they're not like a single unified organization. A landfaller is a type of individual who migrates to Titan from the other off-world planets, like in the solar system, to with the goal of starting a corporation with the council in an effort to get rich. So they sort of represent startup culture, startup tech culture, where like there's a lot of sort of um, kind of naive individuals who believe that they have the ability to start a new company, and you play as one of those people. And so the landfallers themselves don't necessarily work together as a single entity. They Anybody is a landfaller if they come to Titan with this mentality. And what that might mean is that you as a corporation, if you're vying for power over Titan, and there are other landfaller corporations that are also doing the same, you might find yourself in conflict with each other because your landfallers are sort of out for their own corporate interests. So that it's not like landfallers themselves are allied with a single common cause, and that's what changes. That's what differentiates them from other factions, because other factions on Titan actually are a single organization and have a unified cause. Even things like the Rebel faction, they have a singular unified cause and they're all allied together, despite the fact that among rebels themselves, they have uh, multiple groups within them. There are various smaller rebel factions or rebel factions of various size, but because they all have the same goals and ideologies, they work together. Right now in the game, you only fight against Bahar's rebel faction. But we do have plans for other rebel factions in the future, and you will meet other rebel leaders and whatnot. Um, so and you have the opportunity to learn more about every individual that you meet in the game. We have uh, we're planning on sort of showcasing more of the lore in the game over time as you get to know them. And one of the methods for, as Maddie is showing here, is you can call any of the advisors that are assigned to help you.
Now that your city has been firmly as you may have noticed, the council we've been oh, don't look alarmed, founder. In order to access the count, give us a
Gotta
Yep.
give her a generous donation, which we are working towards.
Yep. So you can contact any of your sort of corporation advisors, and they can give you advice on where to take the game, what to do. And those are people who are like part of your corporation, and they have the same goal of moving the company forward. They're like your board of advisors. So the other factions, outside of sort of the rebel and so we've talked about the rebels a little bit. So let me, I guess, just to give more context to the rebels are directly opposed to you. You as a landfaller have come to Titan to start a company under the watchful eye of the council. And that is because the council, for all intents and purposes, owns and controls Titan. They're sort of this omnipresent government-like organization. And so the council themselves is another faction, and the rebels hate the council. And so the fact that you're working with the council means that you're immediately their enemy. Now, what the council is they're sort of like, they represent they're they as a faction do not it is they're not a large organization. They're a very small, tight-knit group of individuals who have power over the entire the entire moon, as it were. And you are assigned one representative of that organization, and that is Einar Peer. And Einar's job is to oversee your actions and make sure that the things that you are doing align with the council's goals. And we have plans over time to reveal what the council's goals are and how they came to be in such a position as they are now.
Ominous.
The council supports you because it is beneficial for them to support you. They're giving you advice, and they give you sort of like the initial starting resources and stuff. Because that the idea is that as a corporation you are, providing profits for the council. Can you go against the council's goals? It is our intention to have gameplay that will allow you to do that, and I don't want to spoil too much. But it is. I think that's something that we definitely want to do because it'll be really fun. So yeah. You are not the council, so that does mean that you have the choice to kind of act in your own self-interests. But there will be consequences if you do that.
We're on soon. We'll have more than we. It's toxic. It's flammable. Let's build some fuel tanks. If our fabricators.
All right, I guess I'm gonna. Oh, dang it! I always do that. All right, we're gonna build some fuel tanks to make her happy.
Okay. So those are like the three. Oh, okay. So then the fourth known faction are the Fleeters, and the Fleeters are they. I need to be careful about how much I reveal because like there's a lot to the story that we know, and I want to make sure that we're but I only want to talk about okay. So wait, what is it you're trying to achieve?
I
Your
need
power?
to get power to here.
Are you relaying it? Okay.
Yeah, look,
and then
there's
you
relays.
have I think it's actually that, and they're not on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. And you have positive power. I think you don't have positive power.
I don't, but they have plus.
I think can you click the drop down list on the grid? What? Yeah. What? And you only have one grid? That's weird.
What?
But that looks like negative power to me because that power generator only provides +3, and
Alright,
each
I'm
of
gonna
those
build
devices
more
that you have
power.
is minus. Oh, and you're conduiting up to the top, so that's +9. So you have 12 power. So you conduit to the top. So Alexa says to toggle your relays and see if it fixes that.
Toggle relays. Relay enabled. Okay, I think that worked. Now I just don't have people. Alright, let's go buy some more people.
Okay. On that note, so I think it'd be a good time to talk about something that we're working on internally. We're planning on actually refactoring the power system, and so the hope is that issues like this will be addressed in the future by re-implementing, like refactoring the power system. Okay, so what was I gonna say about the lore? All right, so the Fleeters is a group of individuals who only live in space. They live in a fleet, and they, as a result, they're the best individuals who are suited for zero-G work, because living in zero-G is very taxing physically on your body. Your body kind of needs gravity to have certain functions operate correctly, and so as a result of living in zero-G, their bodies are kind of heavily modified and in order to support living. So it's a quite common medical something that happens, like a medical issue that happens common with Fleeters, is their stomach acid kind of like moves upwards towards their esophagus, and it can burn their throat frequently. And so Fleeters often have modulated voice boxes because they have like body modifications in their throat to to replace the damaged esophagus that they have from living in 0G. And so you meet a fleeter who's in control of the spaceport, and the spaceport's like the space station that exists off the surface of Titan. And whenever ships from other planets and other like Mars and Earth and whatnot travel to Titan, they have to dock at the spaceport. And from there, they get sorted out, and then landfaller corporations bid for which of those migrant ships kind of like join which corporation. And so to do that, you interact with Erlen Fletch, who's the spaceport operator.
Okay. Spaceport operator. Can I still call him?
Is he on that list?
I don't think so.
Oh, I think he's part of just the standard tutorial then.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
usually just like, hey, you can buy ships at the spaceport. Unlock us. Okay, I have enough money to do that now. If there's anything you want me to do in particular, let me know. Oh, we gotta show
We can
off this.
explain the job management system a little bit. So, there's a new category column on the far right, and we're calling those dedicated workers. And so in the original system, as you remember, these rows that you can drag and drop represent specific job types, and workers are allocated from top to bottom. So like, as long as there are jobs in any of these, the game will plop a worker into it. If there's a repair military job and a repair non-military job, it'll put workers into the military ones until all of those jobs are taken, and then it'll move down. The problem with this is that you can't, in the original system, you couldn't achieve a steady balance, because you would have a situation where you might want to construct a building, and constructing a building would require like the delivery of 20 resources. So all your workers would be delivering resources, and you wouldn't have people kind of doing things that are lower priority. But if you moved your clean waste to the top, then you'd have everybody doing clean waste. So now you can say, okay, I want 3 people always doing clean waste, regardless of the priority. Now, the one thing to note is that the allocation of workers also still works in the vertical list. So if you say, I want 3 people on construction and 3 people on clean waste, but you only have 2 workers, it'll allocate them in that vertical list. It'll allocate them in the list based on that vertical priority. Alexa is noting that we're still working on bug fixes relating to the folder system. So that's the second thing that we added for here, is that there's like these larger categories that you can rename and move. And that's to allow you to say, like, rather than dragging move resources or move minerals and move isotopes and move whatever, you can just have move resources as one folder and then move it up. And this, for people who used to play on advanced mode, you'll notice that advanced mode is now gone. So it's a little bit more modular now. You don't toggle between simple view and advanced view. You kind of create your own custom view. If you want simple view just for the resources, then you just leave it in a collapsed folder called move resources and move that. Or if you want to make your own folder, etc.
Oh my god, I am not gonna be ready for Bahar when she comes. Or they come. Okay, I'm gonna build a fuel turbine. Shipyard. I do not have enough money yet. Oh, I should build a turret so we can show off the call to arms. Which I still also need 400 credits for. Transport hub. All right, let's get more minerals.
I think I was mentioning earlier that this folder system that we're looking at was actually inspired by when you do ship combat. And so, say you make a ship that has like 12 different crew pods or through 4 different life supports on them. If you wanted to move your life support priorities to the top of the repair list, you would have had to in the past drag 4 different individual ones up. And now you can create a folder for life support and then drag the whole folder up.
I need more power. Ugh. I think I've been playing too much Hades because I keep trying to use the Q and E to move the camera around too. I'll prioritize that. We got a new track, right?
You do. Is the list open? I think if you just click the auto.
It was this one, right? I love looking at all the little workers walking around. I'll get you some trucks soon, I promise.
Yeah, on the topic of trucks, we have been getting a lot of requests lately about burrowing roads and also roads dying a lot to collateral damage. So I actually checked, and the reason why roads have been dying a lot to collateral damage is because ships in the last update have increased their health significantly as a result of the combat update. And as a result, their collateral damage is actually based on the mass of the ship. And so when the health of the ship increased, it implied that the mass is also greater. And so then the damage also got greater, and I didn't balance that. So that should be fixed for the next build. For this Titan Tuesday, it was an easy thing to fix. And then also something that we're looking forward to adding in the next quality of life update is the ability to quickly rebuild something if it's damaged. So right now, when a building blows up, it turns into a pile of rubble, and you have to salvage it and then rebuild what it used to be. So in the future, it'll have a button that says rebuild, and it'll rebuild it into what it used to be using the resources that were in that are in that salvage pile. And we're also looking into the ability to burrow roads as well.
That'll be really cool if we can burrow the roads.
Yeah, these are both community requests. Looks like the game music isn't playing.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's okay, we'll put it back on automatic. Get 3 more.
Yeah, Mr. Quinn, that is precisely, I think, what we're gonna be doing is looking for a way to just put the lid on them.
Yeah, you just... I'm gonna convert another worker. Oh, I forgot. Energy pylons.
There's Bahar.
No! Not yet!
So you have 30 minutes to create a ship.
Oh no, we're going on double. I'm scared. Please prioritize this. I play on Zen mode a lot because I just get too stressed out when Bahar attacks me. I also just forget about it until it's too late. Someone mentioned the other day that they're just rocking out to the music and didn't realize that they were getting attacked, and that happens to me more than I'd like to admit as well. The big flashing warning that the attack is incoming is really, really helpful now. Music in this game is pretty slick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's by Danny B, who did the music for Necrodancer.
It's so good.
And we have we'll have more tracks coming too, so really looking forward to that. Looks like you're overdrawing power.
Oh, so
you were.
am. I should probably... What does this mean? Storage full.
I've been told that the game is pretty aggressive. The rebels are pretty aggressive, and I'm kind of looking for feedback on that, because I mean, there's obviously like Zen mode for those who kind of want to build without the stress of being attacked, but for those who do want it, like, you know, is the standard difficulty too hard? It's kind of subjective, so it's really difficult to measure.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I am always just very, very slow. And at the same time, I like to play on 3 times speed. So I think that combination, I'm always like, oh no, I'm not ready for this first rebel attack ever. But maybe if I can just get a ton of minerals, I can build a turret, and that can also help.
And then we have players like Mr. Quinn who play on the hardest difficulty.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I also have trouble cleaning up after an attack too. Especially if I build a lot of roads. So I am happy to hear about a covering for them.
Yep, burrow roads, increase road HP, and then I'm also reducing the AOE damage
Okay,
of ships. It's actually what I was looking into last before the stream started.
What am I doing? I completely just zoned out for a second. Here we go. Okay, we can always put more. We'll do more of these. Get some batteries in there. See, I always say that I'm gonna do one thing, that I need to save up minerals, and then I just use all my minerals immediately. So that's also another problem that I have. I was going to try to do the energy plant next, though. Because I'm still struggling with energy. It says I have 18 used, though, or I have 18. What do I do? Hello. Will there be any super tall buildings in the game?
So
Is a question.
The height of how we've picked the buildings is an attempt to optimize like for the camera angle. Any taller and you run into a situation where sorry, you wouldn't actually be able to see the floor of the tile behind the tallest building. That said, we do like tall buildings, and so some things that we've been discussing are like very specific superstructures that you can't make your entire city out of. So it wouldn't like that way you won't be able to kind of occlude your view of the floor. But you would still be able to have a few buildings like punctuate your city in a way that makes it look nice. And so that's something that we've talked about, though that's not likely to come anytime soon since we're still missing some major features that we were planning on having in the game.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh no. Cancel. Cancel. Let's go into our shipyard. That's probably gonna be better. Select ship. What kind of ship should I build today? What are you thinking, Andy?
I like the level 2. Oh, you have to unlock them.
Yeah.
Well, if you can afford it, I always go with the level 2 just to be safe.
Yeah.
You can get a lot of mileage out of like a level 1, but it really is dependent on like if you're able to disable the enemy ship very quickly and efficiently.
Yeah.
Level 2s are always solid for me.
Okay, I'm gonna pause while we do this. Oh no, wait, I can't. They have to build it.
So what do you have? You have 12 minutes.
I don't know about this one. Build, build, build. Something else we were looking into was a faster game speed, right?
It was something that we had looked into, but one of the things that must be considered when it comes to that is speeding up the game is literally like computing the game at that speed, and so we already want to find ways. We already know that we need to improve the optimization of the game, especially when cities have like 200 or more workers and they kind of like are massive. So running the game at a higher speed at that type of that length in the game would cause technical problems and make the stability worse, and that's something that we're very cautious about. So we haven't done any, we haven't actually done anything like that yet. So it might be a while before we consider something like that. Or
Ooh, 5 red artifacts. Was there something else?
no, I just want to make sure you have something to kill Revolt.
I know, I'm trying. They're not building fast enough.
There are ways you can, ensure that they're building. Is like you can hit the prioritize button, and it'll make sure that it's the top of the top worker chain. It won't necessarily make it build faster, but if there are like any free workers, they will all be focused on doing that.
Do you regret asking me to play this today? Come on, let's go. I need one more? Come on, dude. Please. Thank you. Thanks, Calf. You get to be Quinn. Oh, I didn't save it. Okay, we're pausing. Okay. I need crew pods. Let's put you... we need some generators. Actually, we need an engine. Let's put you right there. I need turrets. We're gonna do some small lasers. Laser. Because that's all I can do. Oh no! Maybe I should have just gone for the turret. I think I made a mistake.
The turret would have been like 40 or
yeah, it costs a lot of minerals now.
And like a lot of power too. I think it's like 12
That's
power.
true. That is true. Yeah. Do I have a generator? I need a generator. I'm gonna go try to salvage some more minerals.
How much time do you have?
Not
minutes?
a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think
I
this
think,
might
like,
be
two small
botched
lasers.
run.
You can do a lot of damage with two small lasers if they're placed perfectly.
Okay.
And
My issues I don't have here. Let's go ask the council for some help. Request minerals.
yeah, so you'll need. Oh, okay. So I think maybe an issue here too is your worker distribution. So like you have minerals on the floor, but they're not being moved. So you should change your worker management to have move minerals, have a like 2 people on it at all times or something like that.
All right.
So go move resources, or don't drag. You don't necessarily have to drag the whole thing up. You could just make sure that there's people in that folder. So by dragging it all the way up, you've actually made it so that nobody's constructing now, unless you
Oh
have
no.
people in construction.
All right, we're doing that.
So you wanna say like I
Construct
want
device.
construct device, and then expand it, and then construct devices. Yeah, put like 5 people in there or something, or three people in there.
We'll do that. Okay.
And is that all the actions, I think? Yeah, because you need people to pick up the resources, store them, and then people to then build the devices. And then you have the crew pod. So this is actually an order of operations thing. So this is super minor. So when you make a crew pod, it takes one of your workers and fills the crew pod.
Already?
And
Oh.
so now you have 10 workers, and so you have 6 crew pods. So you actually only have 4 workers in the city working. So you probably don't need 6 crew pods. So I would say do 3 crew pods, but also build them at the end of your cycle, so that the workers don't sit in the crew pod and wait the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you need 1 life support for those, and an engine.
Building
30...
the engine. Life support, I do not. I'm gonna die. This is. Can you tell that I'm a Zen player?
Yeah.
Usually what I like to do is I prioritize like roads, and then I'll like zone off places, and then I'll do like residential stuff. So shipyard is usually like at the bottom of my list of to do if I even build one in Zen. Life support, please.
All right.
Oh
Let me
no,
ask.
they're on their way.
Let me ask the audience then. Because this is something I can balance. Like, should we give the player more time before they get attacked in the first wave? Because I can totally picture this scenario happening with most
This
players.
happens to me all the time.
It's easy
I
for
think
me
that
to
is
do.
why I went to Zen, because there's just too much to do, or too much that I want to do in the beginning. I probably shouldn't connect that. Like, I'm always tempted to do stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm just gonna connect my factory in the middle of this battle. Take away all of my power. So, yeah, we have a problem here.
Yeah, I think Alexa makes a very good point. Alexa, our QA lead, but also Alexa the Admiral, in that your first mistake is that you upgraded too many buildings. Like, Bahar really hates it when you upgrade buildings.
That I also forgot about that. But I love upgrading buildings. Okay, my shipyard's under attack. Should we start over?
I think
leave
it's
me.
really tempting to upgrade buildings, though.
Oh, that's all I want to do. I just want to go from level 1 to level 3 immediately. Especially my HQ, and then I start surveying all the different ruins. But, yeah. So, Zen.
That it is also a really the first ship that attacks you is usually really dinky, and so you just needed like anything, really.
Yeah, and I once again did not prioritize my city's defenses.
Now, for those who've been following development, there is something that will change how this scenario plays out in the future, and that red floor on your HQ, that red strip, actually represents the combat floor. And we've locked it for now, but when we implement it into the game, what will happen is that that floor of your HQ can shoot buildings, and it looks like a floor like this. It looks like a regular floor like this
Oh.
floor right here, except, sorry, not that. I'm looking at the wrong stream. Let's look at the play. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a regular floor, but you can put left lasers and stuff on it, and that way you can defend your city without having to build a shipyard or a turret.
That would be really nice in this situation.
Yes.
So, do they stop it all, or no? Okay, we're gonna restart. The city is lost. Alright, no upgrading. Not happening this time. I am not worth anything, Bahar. Please don't attack me.
Oh yeah, that's also something that we were planning on but haven't implemented yet, is that you can pay the council influence for backup. So like in that case, it's like, okay, I can't defend myself, I pay the council, and then they send like a support vehicle to come and blow up the rebel for you and then leave.
Please.
So we just need a lot more options like that.
For the players like me who just don't consider battle at all. Did we were considering a survey all button, or
No.
no? That would be nice.
We do want to do a way so that you're not doing what you're doing now. I usually just click and hit C or V or whatever. I go around and just hit VVV, but things that like are difficult to do are like marquee, where you select multiple ruins and hit survey. So that one's difficult because the camera angle, like a box doesn't highlight a diamond very well.
Oh my
other
god,
things
I learned something today, sorry.
The other thing that we were thinking about doing is having it so that, and this would be a quite significant change, but like ruins would be in clusters, so that if you select a cluster and survey the cluster rather than one at a time. But we're fully aware that like the act of surveying 30 ruins in the beginning of the game is pretty tedious, and you kind of have to like either move your mouse a lot or hit V a lot. So it's something that we're addressing.
I actually don't mind it now that I know I can just hit V.
Yeah, I just click them all and I hit V real quick, and then or C for claim, and then Z for salvage. It's actually all four of the keys are on our Z, X, C, V. So it's Z for salvage, X for extract, C for claim, and then V for survey.
I see.
And we probably have to, what we probably could do is make the hotkey on the button more apparent.
They all scrambled to do something so quick. Give me work.
Maybe an option to pay off the rebels. Yes. So that
I had money that time. Yeah, that's
wouldn't
true.
work. That necessarily wouldn't work because the rebels are anti-capitalist. They don't care about money. They care about like ideologies. So, but you could pay the council to send a council ship to fly in and then to take out the rebel for you and leave. So that could work.
Okay.
Oh,
That should be
so
for now.
Wolfenstein said they didn't understand how the combat floor will work. So like imagine your headquarters floor, and there's a second floor on a top floor on every headquarters, the red floor, and it's the combat floor, and it's just a blank floor that you can put lasers on, just like a ship. And if you like imagine you put like lasers and like power generators and stuff like that on it. When a rebel enemy ship is in range of that HQ, then that building can engage the rebel ship. And so like if you look at combat view now, like you know how the left side is your ship and the right side is the enemy ship, it'll instead have the left side be sorry, it'll have the left side be the combat floor, as if you're looking like in the inside of a factory, and then the right side be the rebel ship. And so the rebel ship will be shooting the contents of that floor, and you'll be shooting the contents of the rebel ship. And similarly, just like how damage to the interior of a rebel ship blows up the ship's hull, if the rebel ship is attacking your building, and blowing up devices inside your building, they will be damaging the building's hull, so to speak. So the whole building can actually collapse. And command centers also have a combat floor too. So command centers serve this function of being a defensive structure as well as an expansive structure. There's a device that we haven't added yet because we don't have ship to building combat. It's a bomb bay. And so the way the bomb bay works is it can only be used when targeting buildings as a ship. So like ship versus ship combat, you can't bomb each other, but ship versus building combat you can. And what it does is that device gives ships an edge over buildings because buildings tend to have a lot more support than a ship does. Like buildings can be repaired, and they can, if it's a level 3 building, it has like a lot of health and stuff like that. So you would, if your goal was to destroy buildings, then you would pack your ship with the bomb bay. And so you might have concluded that this implies that we're going to have ship versus building combat, which is true because currently the only way to destroy rebel bases is to capture them with your command centers, and that's sort of like the non-violent way of acquiring a rebel base. But the violent way, if that is the path you wish to take, is to shoot it, and you will be allowed to do that in the future.
I think one of the funniest things we hear from the community is the request to go against the council's
Yes.
wishes. I don't know why, but I find that so funny.
Yep. Oh, it's something we've been talking about for a long time, and I'm certain it's going to happen. It's too funny not to do.
Everyone is apparently just a really good person, and I'm here like, I just want to make money and build the city. Yeah, let's do that. So when you start off, you don't upgrade your factory to level 2 for the 2 floors?
I don't, but I think there might be a bug there because like upgrading to a level 2 factory shouldn't penalize you any more than building a second factory. And for some reason, upgrading is like really pisses off the rebels. And so I put a note down to look into that. I was
Okay.
watching my friend play, and like the first thing he did was upgrade his HQ, and the rebels wanted to attack him. So it's like just for context for all the viewers, the way the difficulty works in the game is that the rebel AI has like a way they evaluate your sort of like threat level, and so the rebels don't like landfallers because they work with the council, but there's thousands of these landfaller corporations that come and go, or hundreds rather, and so the ones that are the biggest threat to them are the ones that they prioritize attacking all over Titan. And so when you first start off, you're kind of like small time, and they don't really care. But once you start growing your city, they start to take notice. And the bigger your city gets, and the more money you're making, and the more you're helping the council, the more aggressive they become, and the bigger their fleets become as they start attacking you. So what doesn't make sense is that like if there's inconsistencies, like, oh, if you upgrade your building, I view you as a bigger threat than if you build more buildings, and that's something I want to look into as a potential bug.
Oh. Okay, this is gonna be our home for people. I need more minerals. Okay, so maybe I have just been playing wrong this entire time, and that's why the rebels always get me, is because I always upgrade things, and one of the first things I upgrade is my HQ. Okay, let's get a mineral patch next. but I need money.
Is there a possibility to join the rebels in the future? The ultimate council betrayal. So there's
Ooh.
so much I want to talk about, and like
Spoilers.
the thing is, like, I just really want to make sure that there's enough to surprise people and like and stuff. Just like uh I do think like um we're gonna do whatever we can to make the game like fun in like as many ways as you can play in different ways. So uh I think just like stay tuned for now, and yeah, and just it makes it yeah, it's just like I don't want to do a thing where it's like, oh, I just tell like everybody all the secrets and then suddenly like there's like no more surprises in store.
Yeah, that's like one of the hardest parts, I think, is like knowing what to say and knowing when to keep it a surprise. So I always just blurt out everything. I'm like, la la la, no secrets here. So that's good on you.
Yeah, we have a lot of like we have such a huge roadmap. We're constantly coming up with ideas internally. I think like there's a saying that we keep saying whenever we have like these creative discussions amongst the team. It's like, oh man, there's so much we could do for the game, so much we could add, and our internal roadmap, it has things that like we haven't even discussed publicly yet. So.
I didn't even realize I was zoomed in. No wonder I was like, what? It's hard to tell sometimes just because like this monitor is massive in the streaming room. And I'm like, oh, I've actually just been playing zoomed in like a total monkey this entire time. Okay, what next? We need some conversion capsules. Those can go at the end here. Let's get another monetization station.
Actually, now that we have some audience here, some players are veterans, I wanted to get your opinion on something that we've been discussing internally, and I just wanted to like prepare you, or at least get your feedback on it. Is something that you will have noticed is that in the combat view, when you're building a shipyard, generators require an operator, and this was always in the original prototype and design, and that's because the operator makes it so that there's another vulnerability point when you're strategizing over how to attack a system. When it came to the city view, we actually we were intending to have that as well, but because of worker related bugs and power related bugs, we removed that feature. And so the intention was to have consistency at some point, which means that there could come a patch where suddenly all your generators are not working because there's nobody in them, because they suddenly need people working in them. And I'm curious, like, how you think that will be received.
Goodbye, please.
Because I think it'll shock a lot of people who've been playing for like 6 months, and their generators are sort of like automated.
Good day.
Good day, Dr. Phil.
It's important for oh, hello. It's important for the long-term part of the game to have worker requirements in the city view as well, because there's a whole aspect of the interior device building that we want to add for like optimization. So like it's not necessarily like using Factorio as an example, but not necessarily don't necessarily assume this is what we're going to do. Is in Factorio, when you sort of come up with a design, you discover later that there are ways that you could have made it more efficient and have like greater output, right? Like you could do things to improve it, and we are looking into ways to do something similar to that. So your like level 1 generator, you might be able to do something that makes it output more power, or no longer require a worker. And in order for that to be the case, then we actually need to have it require workers in the first place.
All right, I'm making that sweet moolah now. watch those ads. What you watching? Okay.
Yeah, the Tetris players are the ones I think in particular that will probably not like it. There's like, I see screenshots of like, this is every single tile filled into perfection with like a generator,
Me too,
you
I've
know.
seen that. I love that. I'm also one of those Tetris players, and I need the symmetry, which maybe you can't tell because I'm not doing it very well in my buildings, but when I have more time and I don't have the pressure of streaming to people, symmetry is nice. I don't have any power. Let's get more power. More power in here? No, that's full.
So yeah, I'm just gonna confirm on stream as I'm checking like the data right now. The amount of collateral damage from rebel ships will be reduced by 3 times. So it was currently doing upwards to 30% of the ship's hull in collateral damage, and that's going to be reduced down to about 10% of the ship's hull in collateral damage. This is just it was an oversight on my part when I was balancing the combat.
Well, everything's a balance game.
But it's important. I'm glad that we kept getting feedback from the community
Yeah.
telling us that it was entirely possible for a level 3 rebel ship to explode and destroy every building underneath it.
Yeah. Did we add the rebuild button in this patch?
No.
No.
That is next on our list of quality of life updates.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, rebuild. And with that, rebuild all. So, and another thing too that we're planning on adding is the ability to cancel repair. So you can like repair one building or repair all buildings, but there's no way to stop it. And that can quickly drain your credits, which you might need to unlock stuff or whatever. So we're gonna allow you to cancel repairs. And also, when you dock your ship now and you repair, it only repairs the hull. And in the future, it will repair all of the devices and floor tiles as well. So it's the way you can repair your ship, even if you've built it in such a way that workers can't pathfind to the devices that need to get repaired.
Can they get to that? That's fine. They'll figure it out. They're smart employees. Maybe. I'm always really fascinated by how other people play because efficiency is not my middle name at all, as you have been able to tell. So I always like to know how people approach the start of their game, especially. Like, I always like to go for the fuel turbine and the energy plant quick, but that clearly is not super smart when you have rebels attacking you.
Oh, so I kind of just like go for the shipyard.
Immediately?
Like the minimum amount of power needed for the shipyard, but the problem is it kind of screws you over because the shipyard uses so many workers when you create a ship that I needed to actually create a better worker pipeline for it.
Oh, that reminds me, I can convert some workers.
So Mr. Quinn says, will the worker ever be able to temp patch the hull of a ship in a fight? So what Mr. Quinn's asking is, when workers repair in combat now, they repair devices and damaged floor tiles, but they can't repair the hull's integrity. Repairing floor tiles restores one hull integrity, but that's not enough to keep the ship from going down if the enemy ship keeps shooting your ship. So that is one way for you to sort of keep your ship afloat.
Give me one more mineral. Thank you. I just I had this image of a worker trying to like repair the hull and just getting like sucked out into space. Oh no.
Since our ships are in like low atmosphere combat or however you want to put it, it's not going to have that vacuum effect, I think.
Yeah. I just had the image when you were saying Mr. Quinn's question.
But something that we are planning on doing at some point is that the crew pod is originally called the escape pod. And the reason for this is when every device in a ship should have a function that when attacked has implications on your combat. And currently hitting crew pods achieves absolutely nothing for you. And I think it's the only device where killing it achieves absolutely nothing. So when it's an escape pod, what'll happen is at any point in time, you can click on one of your escape pods and hit evacuate, and it'll pull one of your workers, your sort of lowest priority worker, to walk into that pod, and it'll eject them, and then they'll land on the ground and walk back to your base. And that's a way for rebels will do that too. So if your goal is to blow up, like kill all the rebels, then you would actually damage their escape pod so they couldn't evacuate. But if you don't want to kill them, you can just let them play.
Okay. So do you not upgrade like anything? So what about upgrading like the fuel turbines and stuff? You know what? Let's just go for the ships. I keep getting distracted. You're right.
Make sure you have at least one, and then worry about
and then
city
we
later.
can do other things. I need more money. Watch more ads, please.
What happens if you're over a sinkhole if they eject? Yeah, I guess that's something that we'll figure out when we implement the feature. The idea was that the pod that comes out is actually like a small flying thing, and then that flies somewhere near your base or flies to your headquarters or something like that. So it'll be something like that. But that's a good point. Like it would mean that.
So funny. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, it would mean that wherever you would want to be smart about where you eject, because if you eject it over water, then like they just hit the water and then they would drown.
See ya. All right, now I have enough money for that osprey. So, I can convert more employees. That's not the right one. I always hit escape to try to leave a building as well. So, let's get a couple of you on construct devices. All right, give me the Andy tutorial on placing devices in ships.
Okay.
Once they finish building. I'm calling my advisor here.
Yep. And I think technically Alexa will tell you too. I remember implementing it last update. There's like a list of items that she goes and checks through. So she'll first like, oh, you don't have this or whatever. But let's see.
Alright,
there you
neato.
go.
I love this animation. Okay, engine. Put you there. Alright. Okay, so I have to wait for it to build first before she moves on. "3D printed ships," yeah, that's true. What size lasers do you usually do?
I think the trade-off is that I always have a small laser because the small
Small.
laser has the fastest cooldown, so it fires first amongst all weapons,
Oh.
but it does the least amount of damage, and so you need to make sure that whatever you do with those 2 hits is effective. The larger lasers do significantly more damage. So in like the twice the amount of time, I think it's approximately twice or 50% of the amount of time to charge, the large laser will do like twice as much damage as a small laser. So that helps you achieve things like um, more damage over time and hull damage and stuff. But if you're trying to be precise, then the small should be sufficient. The small also has less power requirements. So with those two, you need a power gener. You need 2 power, and the small generator will create 3 power. But you probably want surplus power, so the either 2 small generators or a medium generator should be good.
Medium generator, let's get some fuel fabs.
So right now you have a crew requirement of 3. And I think it's good to have surplus crew because if any of your crew dies. So in this case, you could go with 6, but the problem, or you don't necessarily need to go with 6. You could do 4. Because you need to balance it with how many workers you currently have. But to sustain 4 workers, you need 2 life support, because each life support only provides 3 oxygen. So now, assuming that you have 2 lasers and 2 life support, then your total energy cost is 4, and you're currently generating 6. So since you're generating surplus energy, you could store them in batteries, and that would make it so that if your generators did go offline, you would have some buffer. Other than requiring crew, the difference between light and automated shield is the automated shield requires more power as well, and takes up more space. There's currently not a lot of difference between them, but something that we have in the pipeline is that it's called a light shield because it only deflects light damage. And what we want to do is have light, medium, and hard shield. And the way that those will work is shields will have charges. So imagine that the light shield has 1 charge because it deflects 1 shot currently. A hard shield will have 3 charges, and and those charges charge over time. And so a small laser can never penetrate a hard shield because the hard shield has 3 charges and the small laser only shoots twice. So you'll need a medium laser or higher to get 1 shot through, at least.
Wait, do I not have enough power? Is that what's going on?
You have 2. Do you have 2? Do you have 2 life support?
I only have 1 right now.
You do have enough you do have enough power, but you need another life support for your crew
There
pod.
We go.
And
we can do a medical pod.
Your fuel is fine. The medical pod puts you at 5 power draw, and you're generating 6. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
You're still positive 1. Can you zoom into your generator? I need to see the error flag on it. It's supposed to automatically you blocked it. So there's a battery generator in front of the entry point of the
I forgot that they need to man it. Okay. Dismantling. That's like my favorite place to put batteries. In like the little nook right there too.
Do they generally mitigate damage incoming, or is it over an area of effect around the footprint? Oh, so the way the shield generator works is it's like a casted dome. And that dome, it's like a circular dome, and it'll negate the first shot that it receives, and then start regenerating charges after that. and the light shield only regenerates 1 charge, or can only store a max of 1 charge. But the bigger shields can store multiple charges.
Okay, I am going to get some field tanks in there, and I think it's ready to launch then.
Shields are very power heavy.
Okay, field tank. Let's put you there. It's probably not smart to put everything related in one area, is it?
Yeah, since all the attacks, yeah, the attacks are kind of clustered. So, something I would I can talk about is like we are adding more weapon types eventually. Right now we have what we kind of call like the precision laser, because you can choose specifically which tiles it's attacking. In the future, you'll have a less accurate Gatling gun. And so the way the Gatling gun works is it's using the same rounds, similar rounds to the defensive turret that you see in the city. And so it'll hold a clip of about 8 bullets or so per cycle.
I have no employees,
And what you
that's why I'm
do,
not making citizens. Sorry.
you paint an area on the enemy ship. It's like a small circular area, and that's like your designated target zone. And it'll attack 8 tiles in that area randomly every cycle of its when it goes through its clip, not overlapping any shot. So like it won't shoot 1 tile 8 times just by random chance or whatever. And so the purpose of this weapon is because it's less precise, you can't specifically disable certain tiles. So that's what the lasers are for. But it's able to go through more rounds per cycle. So if you're able to achieve sort of like greater DPS on the enemy hull or cause more chaotic damage or unpredictable damage. And so it punishes people who kind of like Tetris their ships, because you can then just paint an area and like completely destroy that whole section.
Makes sense. Okay. Conversion complete. Go, go, go.
Also included in this update are like 15 or so new layouts for the rebels, because we've added 3 new rebel ships and the level 1, 2, and 3, and they each come with their own respective layouts. They're a bit harder than the average one as well, so you might want to prepare for that. But once again, the game's AI decides to attack you proportional to your position in the game, and the game evaluates the difficulty of an enemy ship before it sends it. So it technically wouldn't send like a really difficult one right away. Actually, Bahar hasn't even contacted you yet. Huh?
I know. Wow. Who would have thought not upgrading your buildings would keep you safe for so much longer?
Yeah, I think there's a bug in there. I gotta look into that.
I kind of want them to attack now, so I'm gonna start upgrading.
Sure. Yeah, Dr. Phil, the plan is to release a hotfix for the weekend, which should fix the 99 bug. I mean, if you look at the current version we're playing, I don't think that we have that bug. So let's see. Let me get you an update. As of 12:08, so as of like 2.5 hours ago, there should be a new build on experimental. Oh, sorry. No. It hasn't been pushed to experimental yet. Sorry. It's only been uploaded to our internal server, and then we'll be pushing it to experimental sometime later.
That is in my territory.
There is still one known issue with the folders, is that they can duplicate themselves, and we're still working on getting those bug fixes in. So, but thank you, experimental players, for giving us all that valuable feedback.
Oh, it's so helpful.
Yeah, it really helps us make the game better. Thank you.
I think that's everything. No, this one. Okay. Look at them go. They're so cute. Okay. Do you have a strategy for claiming ruins, or do you just kind of, hey, this one looks cool. This one has stuff I need.
Kind of just I eventually claim it all.
Yeah.
And you can only claim what's kind of in your control zone. So that's where you start to have to build command centers to expand outward.
Yeah. I need more. Those things.
Yeah, you're kind of low on the
Artifacts.
artifacts, huh?
Yeah. I've been
Well,
prioritizing other
you're
things.
donating them, which gets rid of
Yeah.
them.
I donate them for council influence because that's the fastest way for me. Which I know is not like the intended use, especially later, but that's how I speed along my game.
Yeah, you'll probably need to start growing your worker count.
Yeah.
So some people are saying that like they never salvage because it has waste, and so they kind of stick to the resource nodes and stuff. Um, that's an
Wait,
interesting
so
take.
if it has waste in it, you just never salvage it? You just get the artifacts? For me, waste is the hardest thing to manage. True, it is pretty difficult.
Interesting. Yeah, it's kind of weird that because like extracting doesn't give you the waste, and really, if there's waste on the salvage, it should give it to you on the extract as well. Um, I don't think people are gonna like that if we did that. Um, but
Oh, Bahar's coming. I'm ready for you this time. Haha.
I mean, yeah, it just seems kind of weird that you can like extract to avoid getting the waste.
Um,
In the future, there will be, I think we're planning on ways of getting artifacts from rebels because rebels use artifacts to power their technology. So what that would do is that would require you to dismantle rebel ships. You have to like you have to disable the rebel ship by blowing up their engine and killing their crew, and then you use a tractor beam to bring it back to your shipyard and then dismantle it, and that would give you some artifacts. So that would be an alternative way to do it as well.
donate artifacts to get more artifacts. Wait, where's the one that had 4? There we go. And I can get this isotope patch too.
So, Fake Assassin says that they have an issue where the worker won't pick up waste when they're trying to build a building on it. In this update, we have refactored the code for storage, which was resulting in some scenarios like that where building a building or upgrading a building would result in like the worker halting and not actually moving resources. And as far as we can tell, those no longer occur. But we haven't stress tested it with like hundreds of players yet. So we're hoping that it's fixed and that won't be the case anymore.
Oh, right. I was like, why do I have 4 out of 0? And I remembered that I'm upgrading my factory. Wow, what do I do with all this time before Bahar attacks now?
Grow your city.
This is a new experience for me. Every time it's always such a scramble.
Someone's asking if the in-game UI is like blueprint driven or UMG driven. That's a question for Ben, but I think
Is Ben in the chat?
it is. I think it's like I don't think he uses blueprints for it though. I think he's actually using C++. One thing to note, I want to say it's Phoenix Assassin, is the refactor won't fix saves that are already bugged. So there's no way that the game can like detect that a bug has occurred and then retroactively revert it. But it does mean that all future instances of when the bug would occur will no longer occur. So we are highly suggesting is that for people who have bugged games, they unfortunately need to start over. But if your game is not bugged, then you might be able to resume your game with the new system and be safe. We were noticing a lot of the bugs were relating to the smokestack and the mine as well. So if you've had built those in the past, it's very likely that your game is in a bugged state. But we've also found the issues resulting in that. It had to do with how smokestacks and mines could have multiple jobs associated with them, like multiple pickup jobs, and those jobs would accidentally merge in the code and become like, when they merged, it would result in like leftover jobs. And so we've resolved that issue, and I don't believe it happens anymore.
I'm going to get more monetization stations.
Yeah, we were getting the highest reports of bugs on our smokestacks and our mines, and we finally found the issues that were resulting in it. So looking forward to finally getting that out there. And now it seems like the biggest issues are related to like power and stuff, and so we're working on a power refactor right now, which I'm looking forward to. It would basically change how the game thinks about what a power grid is, and so you should no longer have the situation where you need to like toggle a pylon on and off to get it to work, or like you have two grids touching and they're not connecting, those kind of things. And since we were already going to the trouble of refactoring the power, what we've decided is that currently grids connect if they overlap, and after the power refactor, grids will connect as long as they're touching. So that adds an extra tile radius of connectivity to all pylons. Phoenix Assassin, that interior is from a connected building, connected factory.
Oh, the bigger one? Yeah, I connected them. Which people are probably going to tell me not to do, but you know what? This is my game.
Yeah, if you connect it, you can't burrow it anymore. But
Yeah.
it does have more health, so it will live a little bit longer.
I think I need to get more storage and stuff. So let's get... You are right, like, just, there's so much to manage. I always feel, like, really smart when I can get it all right, but there's so much to juggle. Let's see. We got 5 minutes. So, okay, so see this ruin here. It has 62 minerals, 13 isotopes, and 30 waste. Would you just go for the one artifact?
That's what people are saying. But
That's wild.
I feel like you would run out of resources at some point.
That's what I'm saying. I'm always short on resources, so it seems like such a shame to just not go for 62 minerals.
It's so tempting. Yeah, like the waste you can just put in a container and hide it in the corner or something.
Yeah. But then again, look at my factory. It's just trash ridden. So gross.
Like,
you guys are slobs.
Once the
resource patches are gone, then you're really only depending on nodes for resources at that point. And there's something that we haven't implemented in resource nodes yet that I think are gonna change how people view how generous they are. So right now, like resource nodes have a static output, and to prevent the abuse of having entire cities depending just on resource nodes, we were gonna do it where they have like a trying to think of like almost like a qualitative rating to it. So it'd be like abundant versus normal versus scarce. And what happens is if you have an abundant resource, it outputs a high amount of resources over time. But then as you farm it, it starts to reduce its like efficiency rating down to scarce, and it'll never go to 0, so you can never deplete a node, but it'll get to where it's not generating a lot, and that'll require you to go look out and find other nodes to find that are abundant, and the nodes themselves generate over time.
Oh.
So if you stop harvesting it, it'll eventually go back up to abundant. It'll still be infinite, but it'll how the rate at which you're harvesting it will be affected. Yes, it decreases like the thing, but it'll never be finite. It can't be finite because then you're in a situation where you run out of resources and you can't play your game forever. And we want you to be able to play your game forever.
Oh, there's a worker there. I'm gonna beat you down. No survivors. Oh. Nope.
Yes, Treco, it is 100% Tiberium patches from Command & Conquer. I mean, we have minerals, which are from StarCraft, and then we have isotopes, which are kind of like Tiberium from Command & Conquer. So, like, we have a lot of RTS influences in our game.
So then I can take this back to the shipyard. I was really tempted to hit that for some reason. Oh.
Oh,
And then you repair it in here, right?
Yeah. And this is what I was talking about, where in one of the quality of life features that we're looking to do is that those flaming floor tiles and the device tile will be repaired as part of you repairing your ship hull and the ship view. The
dialogue for Alexa and Bahar always like cracks me up. I should probably get building a second ship.
Someone says, when we introduce food, we should have Soylent Green, which is another use for citizens.
Oh no! No.
I think we have funny ways that we have funny ideas for where we will take food.
How do I repair? Oh, repair. Soylent Green is gross. Alright, I'm gonna do... Ooh, look at that, that's a lot. Okay, so this ship is done repairing. The garbage from the employee conversion equals Soylent Green? No!
Can you try repairing your floor tiles? So you would go to your worker management tab.
Okay.
In your shipyard. And then click the ship tab at the top of this
ships,
tab.
There we go.
Yeah. So there should be a section that says floor.
Floor tile.
Yeah, and that is. Can you expand the caret? Yeah. Okay. So it says you have 133 floor tiles, and you repair them to full, only if you're down to 1. So I think if you set the right drop-down menu to the what's that? What does it say? 4?
Should we do 4? We'll give it
Why
a try.
Is it 4? Oh yeah, because you have 4 damage to tiles. So
oh, we get
that.
more numbers the more tiles are destroyed.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure if this is working as intended.
Okay, that's good to know. I mean, okay. I will clip this. Yeah, it's tricky because like it's such like the entire combat ecosystem has like so much like to it, and like a floor tile is so vastly different from like the devices and stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that there's some challenges there. The column on the right side is the max number of employees that can be repairing at the same time. Oh, so you have 4 employees. You had 4 employees, so you could only set it to 4.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so that is what that meant. So then there's supposed to be a column for like when you reach this number of damage tiles, start repairing at that. And you had that set to 1. So technically they should have been repairing the floor tiles because you had more than 1 floor tile repair damaged.
Yeah.
So that seems like a bug.
So the ship is under repair right now, at the very least. I don't know what they're repairing though. You know what? We have a lot of money now. Let's start doing these.
So Dr. Phil, are you requesting that the event log overlap to, the notifications? I think it might.
Oh yeah, the event log. We haven't shown that off yet.
Yes.
But yeah, you're right.
Not
it
overlap.
is.
Not overlap. Okay. Yeah. If BYG Ben is in the if BYG Ben's in the chat,
He is
he's our
there
UI
now.
designer. He's our UI designer, so he's the one to ask. I think it might require like shifting the whole thing down. Are you on 1080p on this monitor, or is this a?
Let's see. No.
No. Oh wow.
No.
Okay.
This is
So-
a huge monitor. That's what I'm saying. You can probably tell from one corner to the other. I gotta like turn my head like that. So yeah. Get one person in there and upgrade you. Upgrade. But yeah, the events log is one of the really cool things. So you can now see what's been going on around your corporation. It's still under repair though.
UI design is hard, and Ben is one of the few people who like tackling the challenge of UI design. It's like it's one of those things where it's like it's such a daunting task that I can imagine people just like not wanting to have to deal with it. But Ben loves UI.
Yeah, Kevin
And-
says I'm out here playing in a movie theater.
More events, please. Oh, yeah, that's another thing too. So as a first pass for an event log, these are the events that we came up with, or Ben came up with as well. I'm sure there's probably a lot of requests for types of events, and we need to know what it is that you want for us to put in there, and then we can see if we can add support for it. So we definitely can consider that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I want those minerals. It's just too tempting.
Cannot resist.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually took away. So we moved the in-game clock. It used to be at the top, and we moved it because for 720p, we were running out of space at the top bar, which is a little unfortunate because I like seeing people's screenshots when they would submit them, and it'd say like, oh, they have like 20 hours or whatever. Or I think I saw one that was like 40. I don't know what your longest sessions are.
Oh yeah, someone on like Twitter sent us an image of their city, which was like 49 hours.
Wow.
It was wild. I love that feature. Oh, see, like, you just can't pass this up. That's 144 minerals. Yeah, so I'm building some residential and some conversion centers now. The factories are cool and all, but I personally like just building buildings to do stuff for me. Right? Are you a Tetris person or a city builder?
I need the city.
Yeah.
The factory stuff it's really putting a lot of your eggs in one basket, because if it blows up, then you lose everything inside of it. And there's a couple things that I'm planning for too. Is like some people like to make factories full of fuel fabricators and stuff. They're like, oh, if I fill every tile with a fuel tank, it stores more fuel than a fuel building, and that's true. But once we implement the explosion feature, then the damage of
Oh yeah.
fuel exploding will be based off of how much fuel is stored rather than just the fact that it's a fuel item. And so in theory, you'll have made like a super dense fuel bomb. And I just like knowing that that's gonna happen, I'm not even gonna try doing it.
Yeah, I remember people were showing off their Tetris layouts in the Discord, and people were showing how they would do like an entire floor just fuel, and then the second floor entirely just energy. That would be a spectacular explosion. I think it would take out your entire city. Who is everyone's favorite advisor?
Who asked that?
No, I'm asking that.
Oh. Oh, I thought that. Oh, okay, because I thought that's what Wolfenstein was saying. They like logistics and transport.
Yeah, that's what brought on the question. I was like, yeah, those are all good people. Dr. Phil likes the garbage man. Vern Skull. Let's let him say hello.
So, Founder, you probably noticed that
Look
our
at that
waste
magnificent hair.
problem is getting pretty serious.
Is it? Oh no.
No need to fear. Waste management is here, etc., etc. Our citizens and
I think
our
I can build 2
factories
more,
are all
actually,
producing
receptacles
waste.
here.
You could
that they
let
can
the
get to.
trash pile up, but it's better to get rid of it.
Do you ever just have a whole floor
Citizens
for just
prefer
waste?
it when our buildings are clean. The
Or do you start
council
building your
likes it when we
smokestacks?
keep it tidy too.
I
The
smokestack.
easiest way to
Smokestack.
disappear all this garbage is
And
to
you can blow
build
it
a
too, so.
smokestack.
Oh yeah, oh my god, gotta do
You can
that.
find it in the city construction menu.
Oh
in the
no, I
city view.
didn't. Okay.
So
That
the
is so true.
OTDQ, which actually is Kevin, our
Yes.
audio creative director. I actually don't know what OTDQ is. That's always been his Twitch name. And now, if you have compliments about the audio or voice acting work, that is Kevin worked on that.
All right. This is my waste floor.
Oh, one thing that would be awesome if we could do is like the design that you just did. If you could click and then drag.
Drag,
and it would-
yes.
Yeah, that is way harder though.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many quality of life things. It's so crazy because I always thought that players wanted to see more and more of what we had in store. And so we were just constantly like, here's this new system, here's this new feature. And when we posted that we were going to do quality of life like on social media, people just like absolutely loved it. And so we're taking a break, we're doing quality of life.
I never take into consideration my energy grids, and I always build everything outside of them.
Okay, so Mr. Philfun asks a cool question that I want to answer. So it says fuel will need to be transported in future updates, correct? Will it be a pipe system or a transporting system like barrels workers? So it'll be neither of those systems, but it will be neither of those systems, but it will be needed to be transported in the future. And I
I think what we have in store kind of aligns with the theme of what you have now, where it's kind of city building is kind of puzzly.
Mhm.
But one of the things that we were, when we initially thought about the problem, the challenges of a pipe system, is that pipes, they would kind of like block a lot of your movement. So like if you had pipes inside your building or you had pipes inside the city, they would be these kind of like giant barriers, and we didn't like that. So the transportation system that we have is going to be more freeing to do, but still be kind of like an interesting logistics challenge. Why would you not line up the rows with the door?
I was just reading that too. Because I didn't, okay? Don't judge me. I feel like I should probably...
Wow, Mr. Quinn is like logistics mastermind.
Oh, I know. I need him to stop showing me up over here.
So 3up says that in SimCity water is underground, and there's other city building games where like they take I don't know how you want to call them, like the elemental layers or the systems layers, and they put them on separate planes. So like you'd be like, oh, I'm in the electrical view, and I have like a different like view, and I'm in the like water view, and it's like a underground pipes and stuff. That is something that we're trying to shy away from, and the reason for this is we think that game design in general is more interesting if the layers themselves, like the systems layers, intersect. And so for example, let's say we did pipes. If we did pipes underground, then there's actually really no challenge to how you plan your city as long as you just draw pipes between A and B underground. Whereas if they were above ground, you would have to do things like, oh, I need my pipes this way, but I want my road to go through there, and so then you have like this trade-off. And then also because they're above ground, they can get attacked by rebels, and then so you have like a risk reward factor, stuff like that. And so the new system that we have, or the intention of the new system, is it does intersect our current layers in the game, but not in such a way that would inconvenience you. I'm sorry that it has to be vague, and the reason is because I haven't seen people do transportation this way before. It's kind of a sci-fi take, and so I wanted to keep it a secret.
Okay, so I have a problem.
Mhm.
I can't launch my ship because it's still under repair.
Oh, why? Why is it still
I
under
don't know.
repair? Oh, is that a
the
bug?
rebels are attacking, maybe. No.
It's just stuck in repair?
Apparently.
Oh crap.
Alexa, help!
Okay, one second. Let me log this.
Yeah, so we got 19 minutes. Maybe I should pause for a sec. Or just go on one. Okay, after being on 3 speed, 1 speed looks so slow. Also, can we just admire these buildings? Let's go
Yeah, I
fuel
don't know.
turbine.
Oh, can we see the shipyard view, but maybe like have you duck so that because
Oh.
the UI is in the bottom right corner. Okay, so
Just move out
oh,
of the way.
it's actually not repairing. Wait, is it at full
Yeah.
health? Sorry, it's a little blurry.
I might have to yell. Can you still hear me from over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no,
I
that's
don't
at full
know.
health.
I hit repair, and
But it says primary system ship under repair.
yeah. I'm gonna come back into the screen.
Okay. Also, I think the bar for
Oh, please increase speed. Sorry. There you go. Should I... Here, I'll move this way. it's not draining my credits. Add streamer support for moving around UI elements. Bye, Chelsea. Oh, okay.
There was a game recently where you could toggle streamer mode and it would block out a corner of your UI and never put
Ooh.
anything in the game there.
That sounds cool.
Turret time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. Oh no, isotopes.
Cancel.
Workers.
Cancel.
Cancel. One. It's too stressed again. Request isotopes. How many do I need? I needed 8. Yeah. Where should I build it? Here? Yeah, that seems like a pretty good place. I have no power though, for some reason. Build a couple if I can. I need more isotopes. I need one person here.
What's the position of your turret?
Right here.
Can you click? Oh, can you click the defensive view?
The defensive
Yeah, there you
view?
go. Okay.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, you're.
That covers pretty much everything, right?
If they come in from the north, you're not in good shape. You're in bad shape. I mean, that's like a 1 out of 4 chance.
I think I'm ready to take those chances. Although, I played a game of Monster Prom the other day, and I literally got every single answer wrong the entire game, and that's like a 50% chance each time. So, we'll see. We played for 4 hours.
Wow.
And I got literally not a single one right. Great game. Highly recommend. That was frustrating.
It's a quiz game? I thought it was a dating sim.
It is, but there's two. You're always presented with 2 options, to either succeed or fail, in a scenario to woo your monster. It was monster camp, monster promer, whatever, and so I failed each time, and the person I was trying to woo just hated me. As a community manager, that's my worst nightmare. Okay, we have 7 minutes.
You're fine. This is fine.
This is fine. I'm gonna prioritize that though, and then I'm going to.
Actually, how is your Z-Thane? I haven't looked at it in a while, but you have your like fabricators right next to your so you're like pretty set.
Yeah, I always hold off on building fuel turbines until I know there's a crevice or a sinkhole, and then I'll build them right next to it and have endless Z-Thane. My storage is full though. Is this? How's my pollution? Wait, is that my pollution overlay?
You don't have pollution.
I have none, even with this going?
Is it wait, that's your smokestack?
Yeah.
Is it actually going? I can't see the. I need to look at the UI.
Here, let's.
I think bottom left is better for Titan streaming.
Bottom left. Wait,
like
what?
the having the stream camera.
Oh,
be on the bottom left.
oh.
Oh, so it's possible that you have 0 pollution in that tile, so it's actually possible that you're not burning waste. It doesn't look like it's actually doing anything. Okay. Is your worker allocation such that you have a dedicated worker to clean waste or to burn waste?
Probably not, but I'm actually okay on waste right now, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Why are you not being built? Oh, I have no isotopes. That's why. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should get it. Got 2 minutes. Please, chop chop. I can also convert some more. Oh wait, I don't have to go into factories to do that anymore. Aha. I can also buy some more people.
Oh,
I
can you
need
click
them
on
to
your turret
move.
and then hit the star on it? Oh, did you do that?
It is, yeah. It's number 1 prioritized right now. So I need people to move isotopes. Put 2 people in that at all
Oh, it's
times.
because you don't have the isotopes for it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
no.
There you go. That's problem solved.
Uh oh. Uh oh. Please, 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 please. Go, 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 go. I might
I
have
hope.
to burrow.
So we do get a lot of reports on our anonymous feedback forum that people like want something to happen and the workers aren't doing it. It's a mixture of, you know, we know there are bugs that
They came
result in
in
this
from the
happening.
north.
Oh, they did? Oh no. Oh, upgrade your turret and it will be in rage.
I can't right now. It's not even built.
Is it getting resources?
Oh no,
though?
there's 2. They put 2 more down.
Okay.
Oh no. Stop it! Oh, they're such bullies. Okay, there we go, there we go. It's going up. Let's go. Should I burrow? I'm gonna burrow.
Oh, you have 2? Oh man.
Oh no.
This is fine.
I have money, that's fine. Let's go. Come on. Let's Oh no, it's like right above it too. Does that mean that I'm not gonna be able to kill this one? Everything that can go wrong is going wrong. Call to arms! Call to arms! I can't believe my ship got trapped in repair. I do like the call to arms button though. The alarm sound is nice. Oh, please don't kill my shipyard with my ship in it! Oh no, it destroyed itself over my turret, so then my turret took damage. Oh no! Wait, I think I got this. It's fine. No sweat. No need to worry. Who is even worried, you guys? Not me. Can I repair them while the— Oh! Ah!
Oh, this is before I nerfed the AoE damage.
Oh no! Everything got destroyed!
Okay.
All
that's
of my
the-
offensive power.
So that's why people kept saying that the AoE damage is too strong. It's like 3
Okay.
times higher than it needs to be. My bad.
Everything was pretty damaged already, but yeah. I think I need to like put my shipyard and my turrets farther away. I spent so much on that turret alone. Do your employees die if the building gets blown up?
They should.
Whoops.
I don't know if they did or not.
Okay, I also need to rebuild that. Yeah, I think the rebuild option is gonna be really nice for this.
Rebuild all.
They die, yeah.
Oh, that's brutal. You lost like 7 buildings. in one-
Well, technically it was just 2 because the shipyard, but
Oh, that's right.
it lost my ship. Well, maybe that'll get my ship out of limbo. It's
think it
dead.
did.
I guess it finally went to heaven. Or, you know, wherever ships go. Oh wait, that's why everything is so slow. Clean up. Nope. Where? Oh, repair.
Okay, so it's 3
Help.
now. Do we want to consider
Oh,
maybe wrapping up?
yes, we should.
that's a
This
good-
is probably a good spot.
Yeah, that's a good
Especially
ending.
because, yeah, I'm not gonna survive another attack. So,
Mostly I want to end the stream so I can push this balance update out because this is embarrassing. Like, I've tuned it on our side. I just need to actually push it. So
hey,
I
good
really
news.
want to.
There we go. Well, thanks for bearing with me, everybody, and hopefully you had as much fun as I did. This update is coming out on Titan Tuesday, November 3rd. So, oh my god,
Whoa,
Dr.
whoa.
Drildo, thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you, Dr. Drildo.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, wow. That is really, really awesome. And thanks for the sub.
Gonna get like 30 good days now.
Oh, good day.
we gotta play this one out.
Yep, there we go. Thanks, Phoenix Assassin. I appreciate that you think I did a nice job. We will have more news on what to expect in Update 7 pretty soon, too. So, as always, we really appreciate you guys playing your game and giving us a lot of reports on things that you're liking and things that you're finding that are issues that are going on. We've made so many strides since 6 months ago when we first launched in early access, and we are so excited to show you the rest of our roadmap and have everything implemented. So yeah.
Another thing we're also planning is, because we want to start getting more involved with your feedback and helping your feedback shape the future of the game, is that we are planning on doing weekly AMAs in Discord where you can chat with developers and ask them or talk to them directly about things. And so that way we can address issues like this imbalance with the the ships exploding, or like the desire to have roads burrow, and we want to make sure we hear you. So having the weekly AMAs will allow us to get that information, especially since we're focusing more on polishing going forward and responding to your feedback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll create like an AMA channel in the Discord, so you guys can leave any questions that you have in there, so you don't have to ask them only when we're doing the AMA, and we'll get around to them when the AMA actually occurs. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks everyone, and we will see you next time. Have a fantastic weekend.